guys got into Whitlow's flat, spent some time looking around there, broke into the museum, broke into the offices that were down there, and then went into the library of the museum to find the occult book. And that's where the session ended. It's a pretty short session,
Okay.
Yeah.
but so you guys did a
Yeah.
lot of breaking
We
and entering.
found O'Donnell's eviscerated body in the janitor's
Yep,
closet.
you guys found.
Yeah, that I remember. That was the last thing we did was we actually went to search and check on the body in the closet before we were going because we heard footsteps coming, and so the last thing me and Rob at least were doing was we were searching the body, and then Jack was doing something else somewhere else in the library.
No, I was with you after we got the book.
Okay. Okay, so everybody's basically leaving after checking the body, right?
Correct. Yes. It's
Yeah, that would
now
be a good time to
Okay.
leave.
very early morning.
So what do we have to do? We have to roll anything? Do we have to roll anything to escape the library, or are we basically out of the library and out on the street?
Well, just for fun, roll stealth.
Okay.
Why'd you ask him that?
Oh,
I
I'm
have to roll
sorry.
stealth.
I didn't know. I think I'm going to succeed at my stealth, so I got a hard success.
Hard
Well,
success
I'm
too.
not going to because I don't have a ridiculous stealth like some people.
Sydney is only good at a
Unless
few
you want to
things.
call it ridiculously low.
No, it's not ridiculously low. It's just low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
So you don't hear like people chasing you out of the museum as you make your escape.
Yeah, you
But
can't
it's
hear it over Anson's footsteps.
it's the middle of the night. So, what would you guys like to do, or do you want to just head back to Jackson, get some sleep, or head to the hotel and get some sleep?
Or we could go back to the hotel. I mean,
Yeah.
we do have our room there, and the guys next door pretty much have left. They're not spying on us at the hotel anymore. I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to do in the middle of the night? I don't think there's anything left.
No, I think we ought to get some rest and
Why? I think we
Go to
could
the
go
morning.
visit that wax museum.
it may come to that.
You
eventually.
just want to go back and fight with the animated exhibits.
I say we go get some rest.
We could also look for the black market and get some hand grenades.
In the middle of the night? I mean,
The middle of the night's probably the best place. The best
right,
time to
but
find the.
it might be the best time to actually go to the black market, but we don't know where it is.
Yeah, we don't have the.
It's not like they're in the phone book under B.
So yeah, I would say get some sleep.
Guys,
Yeah,
sleep at my house then.
All right.
Okay, yeah, and I'm okay with going to Jack's place.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's probably safest.
Well, you guys can get some sleep. Um, I'm gonna say you can improve your skills at this point if you want to.
All right.
Okay.
Um,
Well, why wouldn't
you're
we want
you're
to?
you're
No
probably gonna
library
want
English?
to improve anything that you can, depending on how this session goes.
Now I decide to roll well. Pete's sake. Come on, all the skills I failed, I have to fail at least one of these rolls. Come on. Yay, spotted. Of course I get stealth. All right, out of all of that, one skill.
Okay. Let me see what
At least I'm getting better at spotting.
let's see what mine goes up. All right. Nope. Ooh, first aid goes up. Seven. And then listen. Nope. Spot hidden. Nope. Oh, that would have been a
Wow.
great roll. Yeah, too bad it's you want to fail these. My stealth can't go up anymore.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just 7 first aid.
So Jack's improving most of his skills. All right, so you get some sleep, and the next day, or that same day, a newspaper arrives. The front page announces the untimely death of Professor Whitlow. And there's a little remark in there about his funeral being the next day at a non-denominational cemetery on the western side of London.
Okay. Um.
Do we want to go to the funeral, or I mean,
Yeah, I think we
mean-
might want to attend that.
I mean, we got bigger fish to fry. What with the, you
Yeah.
know, the
We've
stars
got a
aligning.
day. We've got a day to do stuff between now and then. So
Oh, Chip. Tip.
so I have here. See, we found a map of Stonehenge,
Correct.
yeah.
a smallish key with BM etched on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the little. I don't know if we call it a map, but we have like the layout of Stonehenge, and something about the ritual being conducted in or around Stonehenge in like one day, like the next night.
Right, and
Which I don't. Is that technically, since we've slept
On the
now and it's
solstice.
morning? Is that tonight or tomorrow?
I believe it'll be tomorrow night.
Okay. So we don't have a whole lot of time to get out there.
No.
No.
Do we want to like maybe go to the library, do some library use, and maybe research some articles to see if there's been, or some newspapers to see if there's been any articles written in the past about strange happenings happening at Stonehenge or something like that?
Probably will find.
Yeah, you can of course go to the library. There's London's got a few decent sized
Yeah.
libraries.
I just don't. I mean, we've. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody thinks of any other things we haven't investigated, but we've done the university. I mean, we've done the Penhew, the foundation. We've done the wax museum. We've done pretty much everything there is. We've been everywhere there pretty much is to go, except going out to Stonehenge and except doing some more research, just like good old fashioned book research.
Right.
Done
Anything
everything.
else I'm missing?
When we this map that we have of the diagram of Stonehenge, we compared it to a map from one of the books in the office. Was there
Yeah.
anything special on this map? Is there anything different? Is there any X or any special marks on there that
X marks the
call
spot.
attention to anything in particular on that map, or is
No,
it just
it's just a drawing of
showing
the
where all the
map
rocks are?
of aerial view of Stonehenge.
Okay. Now, did we find what this key fit to? I don't have any note that we did, but
I don't believe you
it
did.
didn't open anything up in any of the offices, did it? Okay. PM. Now, what's Meriwether's first name?
Adair.
Adair, okay.
So what would you guys like to do?
All right. Yeah, I think hitting the library is probably one of the best things we can do at this point.
Okay, so grab some breakfast in the morning and head over to the library with some coffee to go.
Okay.
I'd say hit up
If you can
Starbucks,
even
but I
get
don't think
that,
they have it.
yeah.
Nah,
If you
Starbucks is
can
not there
even
yet.
get that in 1928 London,
But I'll
But I'm
assume
sure
you
there's
can.
a cafe or something.
Yeah, I'll just
get
assume you
like
guys can
yeah,
get.
yeah, thermoses back then, didn't they?
Uh,
Forget when thermoses were invented.
Probably. Although to be perfectly honest, in London you
Yeah,
might have
Anyway.
more success finding a cup of tea rather than a cup of coffee.
Very true.
Oh, that's true. Well, I mean, whatever we could get at a cafe. I'm sure there's a cafe offering like juice, juice, pastries, morning tea. We get something to eat, maybe get a tea to go, or and then we head to the library after caffeinated, sufficiently caffeinated, and we hit the newspapers, books, whatever.
Okay. Well, go to a
Is that the
library
gist I'm getting from everybody?
and you can make library use rolls.
Okay,
All right.
my library sucks. Oh wow! Oh cool.
1904, by the way.
Oh, so yeah, they had, but I think back then the thermoses that they had were basically just steel bottles
Actually, I
or
think they were
vacuum
glass
flasks.
at that point. The stainless steel bottles were like in 1989, is that?
Were they steel?
Okay, I'm specifically looking for anything to do with druidic rituals at Stonehenge.
Okay.
Hard success.
1892.
Okay. So, um, you find a decent amount of information on. I'm guessing you're all specifically looking at information about Stonehenge, and Anson was wanting to look at for information about Druidic rites.
Yeah.
So,
I'll be looking for that forbidden knowledge.
Yeah.
okay.
Not
As
So,
that
well
easy.
as any news incidents from like the past few years concerning
okay. So just looking up,
Stonehenge.
I'll start with the information about Stonehenge. You find information that it was constructed around 31,000 BC, or 3100 BC rather,
Okay.
um, by various Celtic tribes. No one is entirely sure what tribe was primarily responsible for it. Um, there was a ditch dug around the site, and you learn that the ashes of the dead were interred within Stonehenge. Um, it was considered a place of sacrifice, most likely, where victims were killed and sacrificed on site.
Okay.
And let's see. You find that the Ancient Order of Druids was established in 1781 around Stonehenge, but there's not much information about them. So they are possibly the precursors to the Freemasons.
That was 1781.
That was 1781. Yep.
1781 precursors. That's kind of weird that a British or that an English, the Druidic Celtic religion was the precursor to an American organization like
Well,
the
I mean, you also have to
Freemasons. I'd love
remember
to see how that connects.
the Freemasons began as a British organization. A lot of Americans who seceded from the empire were Freemasons, who were originally Freemasons and they were British. They were British before they were American.
Oh, that's true. Apparently, here they were Scottish. It was originally started in Edinburgh in 1599 to 1721, which then found the Constitution of the Freemasons by a Presbyterian minister named James Anderson. Okay.
All right.
So that does make sense.
Since you also wanted to look up some more recent information, there's a few news clippings of the what's happening in London. You find information about the curators from the museum. Specifically, you find information that Christopher O'Donnell was hired as a replacement for his missing predecessor. And I don't have the name of it at the moment. And he's from Ireland. And you find the record of Darren Merriweather purchasing a house not far from London. If I can find that. Because I have that information too. Man, the book expected you guys to get to a lot of fights.
Really?
Yeah, the book expected you to get to a lot of fights. I'm seeing so much information for combat and for enemies.
That's weird because usually in Call of Cthulhu, combat is lethal.
Yeah, and this book expects you to get into a lot of it.
I think a lot of those old Goodman Games modules
exactly.
were
The old
got more
games.
inspiration from D&D modules.
All right, so Merriweather bought a house.
Why it's a good idea.
Or a cottage near Amesbury, which is just outside of London.
Amesbury. Well, that's interesting.
Was there an address?
Very cheap. It was a very inexpensive cottage.
Looking into it, can we find out why might be the reason why it was so cheap? Perhaps there was a murder in the house previously?
The only information about the house was that the previous owner went missing and is presumed to have fled the country.
No, that's almost as bad.
Almost be the same person who went missing the open up a position for O'Donnell, would it? Is there an address?
I'm going to
Can we
assume
find
there's an
an address?
address. I'm going to assume you find an address because none of the notes I
Okay.
have give an actual address.
Okay. And does it give us
Everything I
a
said is
name for the
near
previous owner?
Amesbury. Like that's really. Wait a minute. Does this have an address on it? It does. This little handout has an address.
Wow,
17 Old
that's convenient.
Susanna Road. That's what it says.
Old Susanna. Old Susanna. Don't you?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Well, it seems like that's the next place to go looking.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take us to get from here to get to Stonehenge? Because we're in London and Stonehenge is not in London.
It would be a couple hours.
Oh, that's not that
Okay.
bad.
No.
So it sounds like
by
we
car
definitely.
was
And how long
fine.
will it take us? Okay, well, we weren't going to walk. How long will it take us to get to this residence outside of uh, the little town, Amesbury?
Yeah.
Well, Jack would know. It should only take you about half an hour, if you take your car.
Oh, that's not
And you have a car, right, Jack?
Jack.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, yeah, I have a car.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
That makes getting
Well,
around a lot easier.
it sounds like we know where we're going. Do we want to go back to the room and arm up and get a taxi or a car service out to Amesbury and go looking
Jack
around?
has a car.
Just out of
Jack's car. Hey,
curiosity,
Jack's car.
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, do the both of you have a drive auto skill?
I have whatever the default. Well, let me look. Who knows?
Yeah. I've got the default,
We're
which
just
is fine unless you
default
get
game.
in a chase or start
I got the
driving.
default 20%.
Yeah.
Sydney lives in Hong Kong, so she doesn't drive very often.
Well, we're just gonna have to see about trying to.
Well, I mean, yeah,
You don't need a
it's not
drive
like
auto skill to operate a car. You need a drive skill auto to operate a car
yeah.
well.
You don't need to make a roll to see if you can figure out how to start a car. It's just you'll make that roll if there's a hazard in the road or
you're
if you're in
trying
a
to
car chase or
yeah, if you're in a chase or something. But just going from point A to point B is just assumed you know how a car works.
Well, we're just gonna have to make the most of it.
I agree. Let's go get our stuff.
All right.
yeah.
Let's
Go back to Jack's,
raid
get our
that
stuff,
cabin.
drive out there. Bring lots of ammo.
Bring
All right.
lots of ammo.
You can go weapon up and easily drive out to Amesbury. I have a note on this. Okay.
What combat skills do you two have?
I have my brawl is at 57. My firearms is at 50. Sorry, my handgun is at 50, and my rifle is at 25. That's
All
it.
right. And what about the other?
Well, my brawl is 55 and my handgun is 32.
I assume your rifle is the base 25.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. There you go.
In that case, I'm gonna give you the knife.
Don't you want to use the knife so that you can go pokey evil things? Because it's kind of your thing.
I have the spear.
Oh. So the knife and the spear are different. Okay.
Yeah, the knife apparently has the yellow sign.
Oh.
That has a yellow sign on it?
All right.
The elder sign, you mean?
So you guys can easily
But-
get out to Adair's cottage. So you drive up the road. It goes from city to countryside pretty quickly. Once you're outside of London, there become fewer and fewer houses, more and more cattle and sheep, more trees. Everything's more isolated. And as you drive farther along towards the address, it becomes more and more isolated. You go a minute, 2 minutes between houses, between these small little cottages. And by the time you reach the address that is you found in that paper, um, you can't remember the last time you saw a neighbor's house. What you do see
So
is
is this just
That's very isolated.
very
is this
isolated.
just very rural, or is it like in farm country where
It's
large farm? The farm is what separates neighbors.
it's very rural. There's a lot of
Oh,
forested areas. There are farms, but there's a lot of forested areas.
Okay.
jeez,
I have a
perfect
quick
place to
question.
do murdery stuff.
Yeah. Quick question about Jack's knife. Is it a small knife or a medium knife?
Or large knife.
I think it was a
Yeah,
medium
a large
knife.
knife's like a machete.
I believe it was a medium knife.
Okay. All right. I want
So
to get this down in
Adair's
case I need to use
house
it.
is a small, isolated Tudor cottage um, near the end of the road you're traveling on. Um, the land is surrounded and covered by these twisted, hunched over trees. Um, just to the outside southern end of the house is what looks like it used to be a garden, but it hasn't been tended to very well. It's overgrown, and there are thorny bushes creeping up in the direction of the house. Um, the house is quiet, and there's not even the sounds of birds.
Well, that's
That's weird.
okay.
Okay, so getting out of the car, I am going to ready my pistol. What is it, my Luger? I'm going to spot hidden. I'd like to make a thorough observation of the outside area leading up to the house.
Okay. Then go
I
ahead and make
guess
a spot hidden roll.
to see if anything just seeing if anything looks out of the ordinary. Oh my god!
No,
All
nothing
right,
is out of the
so
ordinary.
yep,
You are
it's
focused on
like
this
I
house.
did. Yep, I did. That
Can,
tea just did not caffeinate me enough.
can I roll spot hidden?
Yes, I'll say you can roll spot hidden. But if you, nope, you didn't fail. So you look around and you see parked, hidden from the road, is a slightly rusted but otherwise very nice car.
Might as well pop the hood and see what's in there.
All right. You walk up to the car. Start to open the hood, and the engine is warm. It's not hot, but it's warm.
Hmm,
That's
that's not
not
good.
good. Means whoever owns it might be around.
Can you tell based on the temperature that how long it's been sitting there idle, or how long it's been sitting there?
It's been there for a
Is it like
while.
a few minutes, or is it like an hour?
It's been there a couple hours.
Okay.
It's still a little warm, but not scaldingly hot. You can touch the engine.
Okay.
Looking at the house, are the windows coverings drawn, like drapes or
Yes.
whatever's
All the
covering the
windows are
windows.
closed and all the
Okay.
drapes are pulled. And you do got to remember it is getting colder. It is colder out. There hasn't been a whole lot
Yeah,
of
it's
snow, but it is winter.
end of December.
The smell.
Mm.
Is there like smoke coming out of the chimney? Does it look like
Nothing
somebody's built a
currently.
fire in the house? Okay.
Um, since you said there's no birds or anything, can I do a listen check to see if I hear anything?
Yeah. Of course you
I
can.
mean, what's the worst that could happen? Another fumble?
Listen, listen, listen. How do I do listen? Oh, yes, I click on the little green thing. Yeah, just by barely, but yes.
All right, you guys listen. Um, you don't hear anything. In Jack's training, you don't hear
Mm,
much of anything. Nothing that
wow.
alerts your senses that there's
Okay.
something going on.
Okay. Hmm. You guys want to head up to the front door?
Might as well.
Okay. That's what we do.
All right. Yeah, it's a pretty simple door. There's a window nearby with the shade drawn, so you can't look in. But otherwise, there's no
Is it locked?
carvings. There is a lock on the door, yes, and a handle.
All right. If I
Is it locked?
turn the handle slowly, is it locked or?
Oh yeah, it's locked. The door is locked.
Okay.
Maybe the key can work.
Yeah, I'll pull out the key. Does it look like it fits the lock?
No, not even close.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
You had mentioned it was a smallish key, so I wasn't sure.
It's worth a shot.
We're gonna have to do some breaking and entering. Check the card to see if there's an extra key somewhere.
Well,
Look underneath
somebody's
the
here.
doormat.
It looks like whoever parked the car made an effort to hide it, right?
You don't
Do we
know.
just want to walk around the outside of the house and see if we can find like another door or a side door or a broken window or an open window?
I'll
Yeah. Yeah. Let's recon the area. Kind of keep an
spot
eye
hidden
on the
check.
house. Make sure I don't see any of the like curtains moving or anything. Like somebody's.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that dried up fast for me.
I guess we're doing spot
Yeah,
hiddens
you
again.
can make spot hidden rolls. You look around.
Oh my god. Hey, Rob is the one that succeeded. Usually he's not.
Anson, you see that the whole yard is the same quality as the garden, not tended to at all. The trees are encroaching on the house. The grass is overgrown, but some of it's matted down as though it's been walked across. And
Recently?
can all of you guys make power rolls?
Power rolls are always bad,
Yeah.
especially
It's
bad with my
bad.
power.
It's bad.
Oh.
Good job,
So-
Rob.
No. That's a hard success.
All right.
That's a critical success.
Yeah. So, Sydney, as you guys are walking around the house, you can swear that somewhere in your head you hear a voice whispering to you. It's not saying anything
Okay.
distinct, but it's sort of like someone's whispering really quickly in your mind. And as you're trying to
I stop every.
you're trying to figure out what it is, what's being said, Anson, pulls you out of this, and he calls your attention to a door opening in the back of the house. probably leads into like a kitchen area. And an
It's
old
opening
man is
as in
walking out.
someone is opening it.
Yes, an older man is walking out.
Okay.
Oh no, it's the old man from H.P. Lovecraft. We're all screwed.
No.
Does
And
the old man seem to notice this, or does
I
he
mean,
look like he's
he's looking
walking
right at
out
you guys, and
unaware?
he's walking
Okay.
in your direction. Anson and Jack could definitely recognize the man. It's it is Adair Merriweather walking
Oh,
towards you.
so the
Hello,
guy committed
Merriweather.
suicide.
Can I help you? Are you guys lost?
Um, no.
Ma'am, are you okay? You seem like you hurt your head or something. You okay?
Oh, I thought I heard something. I must have been mistaken. And she'll look kind of confused,
Oh no, there are all manner
befuddled a
of
little bit.
birds and amphibians around here. You know, they make some really strange noises sometimes, especially the chickens. This guy down the road has a whole bunch of chickens that are always making a racket. They wander through these trees all the time. But
Huh.
what are you guys?
Chickens, you
What are you
say?
guys all doing here?
Uh,
Two of you look kind of
excuse me,
familiar.
sir. Have we met before?
Yeah, the you two look familiar. Did I?
Yeah.
Were you guys at the gala last night? Oh,
That we
did
were.
did you
Yeah.
witness to what happened?
I'm I'm afraid we were.
Yeah, it was a
I think we
shame.
did actually when we saw the guy basically slit his own throat in the middle of the gala.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
shame.
I think we were there.
I'm working on some notes to read at his funeral. Do you guys know that his funeral's tomorrow? Uh, I'm I'm gonna assume
Yeah,
you all are
we saw
coming.
that in the paper.
Are you guys gonna be in
Yeah,
attendance?
yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's a tragedy. I mean, he was a very smart man. You know, the community will be worse off for his loss.
Yeah, it looked like he had a white stain on his mouth.
Really, a white stain. I hate to think
Almost like
what he might have been into,
milk.
but I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
I
Hmm.
remember when he I hate to bring up the incident. It's horrible, but when he did what he did, he said something. Do you
Oh,
recall what that was?
I don't know. In the whole heat of the moment, it was sort of a blur. I really, you know, we were talking about, you know, future research and what was going to happen once this exhibit goes public. How we had plans of doing research into Romans, you know, their forays into England, but then all of a sudden, it seemed like it's happening out of nowhere. You know, he spoke to me, and he was talking with Christopher, and then well, you know what happened.
If I
Yeah.
might add something,
Yeah.
um, what does any of this have to do with a certain uh with a certain Neolithic discovery that's nearby here.
Well, I can't think of anything that it's associated with. Um, I mean, I'm really, that's my field of expertise is the whole Neolithic studies. Um,
Can I use make a psychology roll to see if he's being evasive?
sure.
Can I as
Oh,
well?
awesome.
Oh,
Nope.
what is that? How much luck would that be?
A lot.
More than I can spare. 19.
19, yeah.
Yeah. Shoot. You know what? I'm going to spend it to make that a success.
All right. You would gather that he's not telling you everything that he could be telling you. He's trying to end the conversation a little bit. You know, he's kind of not so subtly leading you away from the house and the garden area.
Okay.
And this guy's definitely up to something. I'll give Anson and Jack that knowing look, that kind of like look like mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think Jack's gonna say, "All right, I think I know what's going on here." And you hear a click of a hammer on the gun
Oh,
as he's pointing a Mauser at the old man.
oh,
He says,
what?
"You're not telling the whole truth, are you?"
I don't. Whoa. Uh, listen, I don't know what's going on, but you don't need to aim that at me.
Black goat.
I guess we're doing this, huh?
I guess.
He's
Black
sort of
goat. What do you know about that?
a black goat. I, I don't know anything about a black goat. He's raising his hands like surrender and kind of backing up and lowering himself like he's surrendering.
Well, show him the map.
He's just gonna lie.
Maybe
Yeah.
he needs a little bit more encouragement.
Yeah,
As I just
put one in his kneecap. Oh, wait a second, you've got the elephant gun. That will blow off his leg.
No, don't.
no,
put
I'm
one in his
using a
kneecap.
Mauser.
Oh,
As I just like shoot at the window.
ground.
All right, make a luck roll. I just want to see if you hit a window or something else.
I mean, it's a pretty high luck.
That then.
That's pretty good.
The window smashes. Bullet disappears inside. The curtains flutter. You see, get a quick, brief glance at the inside of a room. It looks like there's a fireplace inside that's not lit. But aside from that, you don't see anything else.
You're in a cabin, no fire lit, and above all else, it's winter. What's going on here, and what is so important about that Neolithic site?
How's Meriwether dressed?
He's dressed like kind of like he just woke up. He's wearing flannel shirt. He's still got slippers on. He doesn't even have like boots on. Please, I don't leave a fire burning while I'm sleeping.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Show him the map.
Whatever you are thinking.
Okay, I mean, we're pretty much diving in head first. So listen, we know something's going to go down at Stonehenge.
What are you talking about?
The solstice is near.
Yeah.
We're talking about the winter solstice.
Okay.
I know the solstice is
Listen,
coming. I
you're
know.
you're an expert.
I know. Yeah.
So tell me what kind of you're an expert in these kind of things. What kind of ceremonies were common at Stonehenge on the solstice, the winter solstice?
Well, I mean, no one knows for
Back in
sure.
the day, so to speak.
Um,
No?
no, I mean, no one knows for certain, but there's plenty of theories. Um, I know the theory that I've been putting forward is that it's was always used for sacrifices. You know, their whatever tribe was in power would sacrifice their victims on one of the altar stones.
What it's my understanding that when sacrifices were made, it was to um, get something in return. There was a purpose to the sacrifice. But
Oh,
what did the people at the time, what were they trying to achieve by making sacrifices?
I don't know, good crops, um, good weather,
In the winter?
power over their enemies. I mean, I've never gotten into the heads of any of the people that died thousands of years ago. You have to understand, thousands of years.
Search the house.
Yeah,
Well,
Sydney will level her Luger at him and say, "Why don't you turn around and walk us into the door? We're going to take a look around."
Okay. And he walks you. Well, which do you want him to walk you back to the kitchen or through the front door?
To the kitchen where he came through.
yeah, back to the door he came out of.
All right. So he reluctantly walks back into the house, into the cottage. Like I said, it's a small place. Um, the little kitchen area, it's not well kept. It's used. It's definitely lived in. There's plates and various dishes and cutlery around. Um, there's a box of vegetables that are starting to go bad, and what looks like um, an ice box in one corner.
Check the icebox.
Yeah, take the icebox.
It's can you clear something up for me? We saw a car parked not too far from here.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that your car?
That's my car. Yeah, I was out all night. After what happened, I went and was drinking and. Yeah.
How long ago did you get here?
I don't know. Probably only sleep for a few hours.
He looks the amount of heat coming off the engine. Does that track?
Do you have any points of mechanical repair
I actually
aside from the
might.
base amount?
Or is that another? Unless that's another character I'm thinking of. Nope, it's the base amount.
No.
But I mean, it's cold out.
It's
I've operated a
possible.
car before.
It's possible, but you don't know enough about
Possible.
an engine to know for certain.
Okay. Huh.
All right. And Jack and Cindy, you guys were looking inside the icebox.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so let's see. Where are you? Where are your notes? Okay. There is a jug of milk inside.
Fresh?
And
Is it fresh or is it
oh,
that weird
are you
goat yogurt milk?
you checking it? It's
I'm gonna smell it,
you smell it. It's not the freshest milk. You should probably
but
go
it's
to the
milk.
market to if he wants to replenish it. But it's a half. The jug is probably about half empty.
Mm. Okay.
Always the milk.
Make a spot hidden roll.
Okay.
That's an extreme success for me.
Hard success.
So you guys both see what looks like a little bit of milk spilled um, near to the jug, like it was put in quickly or was moved quickly, and it's almost weird that the milk seems to be stretched out as if it's forming tentacles
Ew.
that almost appear to wiggle if you look at it in the right light, at the right angle.
And this is in the kitchen?
This is
On
inside the
the
icebox.
counter?
Yes. It's inside the
Oh.
icebox.
Huh.
I look at the guy pointing the gun at him. What's going on with the milk?
It's milk.
Don't lie.
Oh,
Milk doesn't move like that.
no, you're right. Milk doesn't move. What are you talking about?
I have another.
Maybe we
Uh,
should feed him the milk.
I have another question for you. When we were in the wax museum
Yeah.
and we saw the guys working there and they had tattoos, where were those tattoos?
They were on their hands.
Oh, good
Were they
idea.
like on the arms or
No, like
on the hands?
the hands.
Like the back of
Okay.
the hand.
No, it was like the webbing on the right hand
And
between the forefinger and the thumb.
Hmm.
does Meriwether have tattoos like this?
Make a spot hidden roll. He has his shirt, his
Success.
collar pulled, like the cuff of his shirt pulled up, but it doesn't obscure the entirety of his hand, and you can easily see that there's no marking.
Okay.
Hmm. Does he have any tattoos anywhere else, like maybe on his neck or arm or something?
Nothing that you've noticed.
Okay.
Nothing that jumps out, anyway.
I
Is
have
there
an
a,
idea.
is there a bedroom he's staying in? Let's go look there.
I have an idea. Maybe we should feed him the milk.
I would normally say that's a good idea, but what if it like possesses him and he gains like eldritch Cthulian powers?
No, it's more like an intimidate check.
Let's not right now.
All right.
I ask him, "Is there a bedroom? Where are you sleeping?"
My bedroom, yeah. Okay. Okay, come on, notes. Don't fail me now. All right. He keeps telling you, yeah, it's a small house, but there are a couple bedrooms upstairs. He leads you
Lead the way and like
the main bedroom, the one that he stays in. It's relatively simple quality. Um, there are there's like some quilted decorations hanging on the walls, in black and white tiles. There's a mirror with a golden frame, decorated as though they're angels holding it in place, and a shelf of toiletries and small bottles.
When they go up with him, I'm gonna stay downstairs and take the opportunity to just
Check the living room.
have a closer look around without him around.
Okay.
So kind of toss the place.
All right, so let's see. Let me go. All right. So Anson, the room you walk into has a long rectangular oak table. It basically fills most of the space. Um, there's a
Mhm.
crystal chandelier that hangs above the table, and there's a cabinet with some fine china hanging in a on a shelf that's hanging between a couple doorways.
Okay,
And
so this
yeah,
looks like a dining room. Do I see anything like notes out? Like
I
he
need you
said he
to
was
make
working on
a
the speech.
spot hidden roll.
Okay, success.
All right,
Good
as you're
job.
looking around, you swear you can see the reflection of a man in the glass of one of the windows, holding an axe above his head, ready to swing it at you
Yeah, I will like behind me.
from behind you. Yes,
Yeah,
and
I'll spin around with the
and
revolver and
there is nobody there, but you can swear you saw something. And I'm gonna need you to make a sanity
okay.
roll.
I don't want to make a sanity roll.
Yeah, you
Okay,
have to make a sanity roll.
that is a fail.
All right, roll 1d3.
All right, two.
2 points lost.
Okay,
Could be worse.
could be
Okay.
much worse.
Could be looking at an elder one and go, whoa. Go, whoa.
You look around, but there is nobody else in the room with you. You
All
look
right,
back.
that's
You look back at
Above
the.
the above below the
creepy.
table, you could be invisible.
You look back at the glass that you had seen the reflection in. You can still see your reflection, the reflection of the wall behind you, but no other figure.
Okay. Oh, that'll keep me a little jumpy. Yeah.
All right. Upstairs in the bedroom, between Jack and Sydney, who's walking where? Who's first? Who's second?
I assume Jack's first and I'm second.
All right. Um, Sydney, make a luck roll then.
Okay.
She effectively just needs to roll to succeed this roll.
Yeah, I basically just need to not fumble. I got a 56. I
Yeah.
succeeded.
So you fail. You felt like someone pushing against your back. When you look over your shoulder, there's no one there, and it wasn't enough to like make you stumble or anything, but you just felt a little bit of pressure, as if someone put their hand against your back.
I'm beginning
Mm,
to realize why this cottage sold for so cheap.
yeah, it's haunted.
Yep.
Um, I'm gonna say Anson. Hey, Anson, I don't know if I told you this before, but when we were walking up, I heard like some distant mumbling, and I could swear I just felt somebody push me. Not hard, but push me.
Anson is downstairs. He didn't
Or
get
not
upstairs
Anson.
with you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. Jack,
Oh,
I don't know if I told you when we were coming up, but I thought I heard some mumbling, and I just could swear I felt someone push me.
Maybe it's a poltergeist.
Maybe.
Polter-
or maybe the old guy is playing tricks.
Like
It's a
with
good
what?
thing
An
I know
airplane?
Latin. I could probably perform an exorcism.
That's okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to say that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
So what do you know about this house and its history? I'm going to ask the guy.
Oh, it was not much really about it. I mean, I don't know who lived here before, but the house came on the market, and I kind of liked the whole isolation bit. So it's kind of what I was in the market for. That's why I bought this
Looking
house,
for?
and it was cheap. You know, it didn't cost me a whole lot, and on a curator's salary, you gotta figure out ways to save money. Not the wealthiest guy.
Yeah. I'm going to look kind of unconvinced, but I mean,
Hey, I mean,
it doesn't seem like he's lying.
you saw my car. It's got rust all over it. It might look fancy, but it's old, and I kind of saved it from its eventual fate in a scrapyard.
Uh-huh.
He's still kind of walking with his hands.
So what do you do in your So what do you do out here in the middle of nowhere all by yourself?
Oh.
You have any hobbies or anything?
Well, I like doing my reading, my research. I got one of the bedrooms up here. I converted to a little library. It's,
Uh-huh.
so I like to spend my time reading. I don't like to be bothered by people. You know, people listen to the radio's too loud, or they always argue and get drunk.
Hey Jack, keep an eye on this guy. I'm gonna search his room.
You're on
And
it.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look under the bed, under the mattress,
Okay,
in the drawers, all that stuff.
all right.
I will roll a spot hidden. I assume it's a spot hidden, right?
Actually, I wasn't gonna make you roll because it's a very clean room.
Oh, okay. Well, I succeeded anyway.
There's
What we need
there's
is
some
drink
clothes
milk.
folded up in one corner in a neat little pile. Some shoes, a couple different pairs of shoes. There's some nicer ones to more everyday ones to boots. Um, yeah, that's about it. There's not a whole lot in there.
So I'll comment that you don't have a lot of stuff here for somebody who, basically lives here.
Well,
Seems like you're only here for a few days.
I don't spend a lot of time in my bedroom. What can I say? I use this
Well,
little
where do you spend your time?
in my little library.
Your library?
Yeah.
Huh. Hey, Jack, I think maybe we should get Anson and go check the library. I'm sorry, I mean, yeah, Jack, we should get Anson and go check the library.
I can probably help with that too.
All right, and so as we're leaving again, Jackson, we both got guns on him. He's leaving in front. We're gonna call down. Hey, Anson, you find anything down here? There?
You zoinking.
Have I pretty much checked the downstairs area
Zoink.
as much as I'm going to, or?
You gave the rest of the house, little cottage, first floor, a little glance over. Um, there's like a little living area with some sofas, a table, with a book like put on the table, like it was dropped pretty quickly. There's where the fireplace that's not lit is. Um, and then there are stairs that lead up to the second floor, where the bedrooms are.
What is the title of the book?
Uh, People of the
I want to check
Neolithic.
it out.
Well, it is his research area.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. So he was reading that when we interrupted him. He said he was
Seems like
working
it.
on. Yeah, stuff isn't tracking here. And sitting in front of a dead fireplace while reading. Is there wood nearby, like you'd stack them near a fireplace, or?
Yeah, there's a few logs.
I was going to suggest perhaps. I was going to suggest perhaps you search the fireplace, for like a secret passage or a hidden latch or something like that. Simply because if there was, it would be less likely that you would start a fire into it, just so that you didn't end up burning down the area behind it.
Yeah, I was gonna poke around in there anyways, just to see if maybe there were some remnants of ashes, or some all but dead embers in there or anything. Is the fireplace clean,
Nope.
or are there ashes
There's a
in it?
bunch of ashes in there. If you're looking in there, you can make
Okay.
a
Is it
spot
all
hidden
wood
roll.
ash, or is there?
You can make a spot hidden roll inside when you're looking
Yeah.
in the fireplace.
Let's see if I can continue succeeding. Oh, I can. Hard success.
Good job.
You notice that there are definitely the remains of burnt logs in there, but there's also the remains of papers that seem to have been tossed in there and burned. With the hard success, I'll say that they're at least legible in the point that you can pull them out, and they're not fully burnt yet. They look like handwritten journal entries.
Okay. We had that journal that we found in Whitlow's place.
Mm-hmm.
Same handwriting?
No.
Okay. And can I make out anything on these pages
Let's see.
as far as content?
What languages do you speak?
I speak English.
Speak English only.
Good language.
Yeah, I
then-
don't have any other language.
I speak Latin. And
Yeah, I do know Jack speaks Latin.
And I speak Mandarin and Arabic.
Okay.
Now
So
are these Roman letters? Or are
you
they?
recognize the writing as not being in English. It's
Okay.
probably
But using Roman.
Latin. But
Okay.
I
can't be
can
100%
decipher it.
Right, Latin or Italian or something like that. Okay, I'll gather them up, and if nothing else really pops out at me, I'll head up the stairs when I'm called.
Well, we're heading over to the other bedroom that he uses as a library. And when you get to the top of the stairs, I'm going to kind of whisper to you that, hey, Anson, when we came into this room, I could swear something pushed me.
Huh. It's interesting. I could swear I saw somebody trying to bury an axe in my back.
Downstairs?
Yeah.
Sydney looks alarmed, like, should we go downstairs?
No, it was I saw it in a reflection in a china cabinet. Turned around and nothing was there. I also found something in the fireplace, but I'll pat my pocket. Say I'll save
Got
that for
it.
later.
Got it.
Anyways, what are
Well,
we looking? What are we looking for? Yeah,
well, we didn't find anything in his room, but he says he spends most of his time in the library, his little library. So that's in the next bedroom, and we're heading there now. So
excellent. I'd like to see these notes he was working on.
no, it's okay. Yeah. Anyway, we kind of like motion for him with my gun to get moving towards the library.
All right. He reluctantly walks over there. Um,
And before walking in, we're gonna check. I'm gonna check for traps or any type of telltale signs of, like any eldritch signs or any pentagrams or anything occultish.
Make a check for traps roll.
all right. Make a spy hidden
I
roll.
think that would be spot hit.
Oh, it's gonna be a spy hidden roll. Now,
Success.
Jeff doesn't say anything. Sydney, you look carefully. You see a door in the little. I'm gonna call it a hallway, but it's more like a little landing area that leads to a water closet with a little sink and a little toilet. Um, that's about it.
Okay.
Nothing else. That's really nothing that jumps out to you.
Okay. Um, Head on into the bedroom. His library.
His library.
Library, yeah.
Let's see. Now I have
Checking
another
it
room
for
to
trap.
describe.
So many rooms.
Okay.
Don't you hate that?
So this area, this room, um, it's very well organized. There's a large desk situated right underneath the room's only window, with a circular table and chairs in the center of the room. There is a framed map of the British Isles on display, and several bookshelves
Mm.
filled with books and bric-a-brac lining the walls.
Bric-a-brac.
Bric-a-brac.
I'll check the bookcases, and I'll suggest that Anson checks the desk
Okay.
while Jack keeps his gun on the guy.
All right.
Alrighty.
So I'll start with the bookshelves. Um, the books there's an eclectic mix of books that cover various subjects such as travel, British history, archaeology, anthropology, paleontology, and stamp collecting.
Stamp collecting.
Yep, stamp collecting.
I'm checking that one first.
So everybody needs a hobby.
All right. On the desk is a large glass cube with what looks to be a dead scorpion in it, a gold pen, a clay paperweight in the form of a pyramid, and several pieces of paper with handwritten notes on it. There's also a glass
Cool. Yeah.
with a small amount of brown liquid still in the bottom of it.
Brown liquid as in
You get a small
whiskey or something
you get a
like
small
that, or is
sniff,
it?
It's definitely alcohol.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check out the papers.
If it's Latin, give it to me. I can read it.
The handwritten papers are little notes about Augustus Whitlow and his work in the museum.
Okay. So these would be his notes. I'm the handwriting. Does it match the handwriting of the pages I pulled out of the fireplace?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
And what about the book? So I'm checking the book on stamps first.
Okay.
I'm going to carefully take it off the shelf, seeing if it's connected to anything, because it looks really out of place compared to those other titles.
It is a book on stamp collecting. There is nothing special about it.
Okay, look behind the book. Is there anything in the bookshelf, like any switch or anything, or can I reach in and like push on it? Does it reveal like a hidden door or anything?
No, there's nothing back there.
Okay. I'm going to ask him, what was the last thing you were reading?
Yesterday I was reading a book on Neolithic people. That was the last thing I was really
Neolithic people.
focused on. You know, it's kind of what I do. You know, study people.
Yeah.
Area.
And where is that book?
God, I don't know. Probably near the fireplace. I don't know,
Dude.
downstairs.
Okay.
I'll just give Sydney a slight nod.
Okay.
Could I read those pages you got from the fire?
I haven't revealed
Yeah,
them yet.
you don't even know that
We
he
don't even
has
know
the
that-
paper that he found in the fire. He's
Yeah,
been hiding
good
them.
point.
I'm going to ask the guy, are there any other rooms in the house? Is it just these two bedrooms? Anything else?
Oh. I mean, inside the house, that's basically, I think you've seen everywhere. There's a lot of property, but there's not much aside from trees. I don't know what else you expect to find.
Did we ever check, like, are there, like, any rugs or anything in this house? Like, did we ever check, like, downstairs? And I'm going to ask Anson if he ever checked if there were any rugs downstairs and if he checked them.
I don't know if I noticed any, but if I did, I didn't check. So
Nothing was
Okay.
checked.
Okay. I'm going to head downstairs while they're here, and I'm going to just look around in the living room, see if there's, like, a rug. If there is, like, check underneath it.
All right. There is a single rug on the first floor
Mm-hmm.
that is positioned behind where the stairs leading up to the second floor would be. It connects the living area to the dining area. It's a well-worn rug.
Oh, the dining room.
Yep,
Okay.
it's a well-worn rug.
Well, I'm going to take a peek at it. I'm going to take a peek underneath it, and then I'm going to check out the dining room.
All right. Underneath the rug, it's
Mhm.
hardwood floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check the dining room really quick.
yeah, I had already checked that. That's where my axe.
Oh, you
murderer
did? I thought you
was.
only. Oh, I thought you only checked the living room.
No, I
Okay.
checked the
That's
dining room.
that's where I saw the axe murder. I didn't check any kitchen though.
Yeah, we
I
did. That's where we
imagine
found the
That's where you
milk.
guys came
Oh,
in.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we came in through there, and that's where we found the milk in the
Now,
refrigerator.
is there anything that looks like a door that would lead into a basement, or when we were outside,
That's what I
did we
was
see
looking
an
for.
exterior entrance to a cellar?
You didn't take a good look around the yard. But if there was an entrance, there
Okay.
probably would be outside. There would be a basement door.
I'll straight up and ask him. Does this cottage have a cellar?
Well, for storing the coal that I use sometimes in the fireplace, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Probably there's some old storage. I don't go down there very often, so don't really
Yeah.
know.
Because it looks like he uses wood for the fireplace. So I don't know what he'd do with a whole lot of coal deliveries.
Yeah.
Oh no. You guys want to take him down in the living room while one of us guards him and the other two walk around the perimeter of the house, seeing if they do find a cellar or of some kind?
Sure.
All right. So
Okay, we'll do that.
I figure Jack and I are the most intimidating. One of us stay behind while the other goes with you, Sydney.
Okay, so yeah, Jack, can you stay with this guy in the living room while me and Anson look around the outside of the house?
Don't shoot him unless you absolutely have to. Please. Don't
Please.
make him drink milk. Don't.
Don't let him
Please.
use the bathroom.
Uh,
Tell him he can hold it. All right, so we'll go out through the kitchen and look around the outside of the house. See if we find a cellar entrance.
all right. So you walk outside. You walk around the areas. You see follow like a little trail made by the matted down grass that leads around to the back of the house, to a few stone steps and a little wooden door that seems to lead
Right.
underneath the house.
And this, again, this matted down grass, does it look
Newly matted
Ju-
down.
just from constant use over the
I would
years,
say
or is it
it looks more like constant
recent?
use.
Okay, all right.
Huh. So he said he doesn't go down there very often, but yet the path going downstairs looks relatively worn.
Right.
So he's definitely.
How long has he had this cottage? From the newspaper
The
story?
newspaper said it was a couple years.
Okay. All right.
So do we head down there?
Well, I think one of us ought to at least.
Maybe
Yeah, well,
maybe I'll go to keep an eye on the guy because Jack has the spear and you have the knife. So if you encounter something creepy down there, you guys are more prepared to handle it.
yeah.
And Jack's
Jack-
elephant gun is pretty powerful in its own right.
And Jack likes killing things anyways.
Or at least
I'd
shooting
rather,
it.
if there's anything in the cellar, I'd rather he kill that than the professor.
So I'll go back into the house and back into the living room, and then I'll whisper to Jack that we did find a cellar. It does look like it's been well trafficked, and Anson's gonna go in, and we thought it would be better if he go in with Anson or with Jack or with Anson, and I'll keep an eye on this guy.
All right. So as
Are you
Jack
there?
heads out of the house, Sydney, you try to take over watching Merriweather, and he's sitting on one of the sofas with his arms raised, but he's talking. He starts talking to you, and he's trying to tell you that you're making a mistake. He's not doing anything wrong. He's nervous, and you should really at least let him put his arms down and use the bathroom, because you wouldn't let an old man soil himself. You're not. He doesn't think you're that kind of person. He thinks you're a better person than that.
Yeah, my associates will be just a few more minutes. So, yeah, I think you can hold it a bit longer.
Let's see.
So, yeah.
Can you make a roll? Make a psychology roll
Yes.
or sense motive, either one.
Sense motive.
I think psychology is sense motive.
Oh, okay. Nope. No idea.
Ouch.
Okay. So he wants you to let. He's trying to get you to let him go.
Okay.
Um, and even though you're pretty sure he's, you're doing a really excellent job of keeping him contained, part of you is starting to question: is this really what you want to do? Do you really want to go down this road? You know,
Uh,
he's an old guy. What could he do?
I don't know. Lots of old guys. We've met a lot of old guys that are pretty shady. So I'm just going to say, look, I understand you got to use the bathroom. They're just going to be a couple more minutes, and then they'll be up here, and then we can let you use the bathroom, and we'll be on our way because obviously you're just kind of living up here, but it's going to be a couple more minutes.
Oh, okay. Gosh, I'd hate to have to get Scotland Yard involved in this. You really should
Yeah, we would too.
consider letting me go. And as he's talking,
Oh, well, we're going to let you go as soon as they get back.
to you,
As he,
Anson and Jack make your way into the basement, to the cellar. The stairs
Okay.
lead down into as he said, it's a room that's dirty, it's small, it's cramped, and used for storing coal. It's still, it's not well kept. There's spider webs everywhere. There, I don't know what coal used to be kept in, if it was like bags and stuff, but there are sacks of coal that are kind of like unused, covered by dust,
Okay.
just
Uh,
piled up.
Poke around, see if there's anything hidden amidst the coal. Maybe there's a secret passage or something. I just want to give it a good search.
All right. So you explore around. I need you to make a spot hidden roll.
Alrighty. By the way, Jack, you there?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just getting some toast.
Okay. I heard you in a while. One of the things I'll do before we go down, when I meet up with Jack, is just kind of pass these papers over to him and tell him I found these in the fireplace. It looks like Latin to me. I don't know Latin from
I'll
Pig
look at
Latin,
it.
quite frankly, but yeah, when you get a chance, you might want to take a look at that.
Um, that's a hard success for a spot hidden roll as well.
All right. So you guys are in the basement, and you notice that one of the areas seems to be less covered with cobwebs than other areas, um, and kind of in the middle of this wall, and a little off to the right, is a brick that's darker than all the other ones, and doesn't seem to be any mortar around it.
All right.
I'm
Um,
gonna pull the brick.
Well, you try to pull the brick, it doesn't move, but it does push forward.
I'll try pushing
And
it.
when you push it, part of the wall seems to shake a little bit and move just a few inches to reveal an open passageway.
all right. Let's try to force this
one of you
thing
want to
open.
maybe come up and get me, and we take the guy with us?
Yeah. Um, you go get her. I'm gonna read the note.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll go up and
All right,
tell
Jack,
Sydney
you
that.
can recognize that these pages are torn out of a book, specifically the book that you had read that gave you the Cthulhu Mythos. What was the
More
other?
mythos, yay!
That's always the
It
best
doesn't
stuff.
give you any more mythos, but it completes the book that you've already started reading.
So what does that mean?
It just means that you can do a full, complete read through of it. And he had
You
stolen
know
the
how the
last two
story ends
pages
now.
of the book.
I'm gonna come up there with the handgun.
He's looking. He's still sitting there, his hands raised. Are you gonna let me go now? It's. I,
You're a
You,
thief.
excuse
you're gonna
me.
come with us.
Excuse me.
We found another place to explore down there.
I
You're gonna
hold
come with us.
I hold up the page that he tried burning as I speak to him in Latin. You are a thief and an occultist.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why would you burn this page? And why would you steal it from the museum?
Well, that's what I'm interested in. Is like what is on those pages specifically
What
that you
was
felt
on
the
the
need to
page,
burn.
actually?
It is a.
It-
It's kind of hard to tell, but it's more reference to the Roman activities just before they departed to return to Rome
Hmm.
or to Hispania, where they're from. They were from, but it's hard. It's mostly
Interesting.
burnt, so it's kind of illegible for the most part.
What was on the pages?
There's nothing important. You know, I went, I took the book out of the library. You know,
I
I
shoot the
was,
gun right near his feet.
ah, geez, okay. No, it's, listen, I thought it would help my research. I thought, a first-hand account, very detailed, it was going to help, but there was nothing in it of interest. And I just like, I was frustrated. I tried to burn the last of the pages. I sent the book back. I, I don't know why.
I shoot
It's
the
just
gun again near his feet.
all right. Make a attack roll. Please make an attack roll. All right. You shoot
Well,
very
Oh
close.
boy.
You shoot very close to him, and he
I'm
startles.
losing patience.
He, I. There was it was not there was nothing in there. The Roman soldiers, they came up here. They met some of the tribes, and then they left. They returned, and that was the end of it. It was. I already knew all of that information. There's nothing in there that's special.
So
That
why would you burn it? I say you said you were
ah,
frustrated,
I was
but
frustrated. I was convinced that there must be something in there, and the,
you're a scholar. You don't seem like the kind of guy who just burns a book because he doesn't like what's in it.
Also, explain the secret passage under the cabin.
I want to make another psychology roll while he's telling us all this. See if he's still hiding something.
I'll make one as well.
I'll try. I'm there.
Oh, extreme success.
okay.
Good job.
Just a regular for me.
Fail.
All right. So, in terms of, well, Anson, what are you asking him about? What are you trying to uncover?
Well, I wasn't really asking him. I was
What are you kind of
trying
information
to
you trying
get
to
a
gain?
feel for. Is there more to what he's saying as far as being frustrated being the reason why he tore the pages out and burned?
you think that he's definitely lying
And does he seem
about it.
afraid of something besides Jack?
He's not necessarily
Yeah.
afraid, but you do get the impression that he destroyed those pages on. He was trying to destroy the pages on purpose because there would have been no reason to split those pages out of the book unless those pages had served
Yeah.
some
No,
purpose. And he
okay.
was trying to
I'm gonna walk
destroy.
up to him. I walk up to him. I grab him by the front of the shirt
Uh,
and I shove him against the
uh,
wall and make an
what?
intimidation check. I'd basically just say, I'm tired of you lying to us. I'm tired of you playing these games, hiding shit from us. You're going to tell us everything, and you're going to do it now.
Ooh, good one.
And I'm going
And intimidate
to.
roll?
I'm gonna actually help him with this one and say, if you don't, I will start breaking every bone in your body, starting with your digits.
All right.
Ooh.
Before I get onto the intimidation rolls, I'm gonna answer Jack. You specifically asked him about the secret room in the cellar, and you
Mm-hmm.
saw his eyes briefly flash, go wider when you mentioned it, but he didn't say anything about it.
Oh. Oh, so you
Oh,
do
he
know
knows.
about the secret entrance.
Is that the sense I
Uh,
get? That
Now we
he's,
know you're
uh,
lying.
all right. Well, you guys can make
yeah.
intimidate rolls with advantage.
Do we
Because
get
With advantage.
yeah,
bonus
because you're
dice?
The bonus
That would be
die.
extreme.
yeah. So you don't need another.
Well, that guy is
I think he's
I
just
The
showing
got
first
himself.
critical
thing
success on mine.
that you notice that he does is he wets him. He urinates. He pisses himself. He told Sydney that he needed to use the bathroom and that she should let him go to use the bathroom, and he just used the bathroom on himself.
Okay.
I listen. There's nothing to tell you. All right. Yes, I read that book, the the journals. It was I wanted to know what was inside of it, and it really didn't tell me anything else that I didn't know. I was hoping it would tell it would
Why'd you burn the pages?
because I didn't want anybody else to know what I learned, and I'm
Which was?
convinced that what the soldiers took out of this area, what they took back to Rome, I didn't want them to know about. Okay, I don't want anybody else to know about.
Which was?
Which was
All right, you know how I mentioned that during the winter solstice, they would sacrifice people. They would sacrifice their enemies.
Yeah, we knew that. We
All
knew
right.
that.
Well, they would sacrifice the bodies, by stabbing them and bleeding them, and then once the people were dead, they would burn the corpses. The Romans, the soldiers had collected the ashes of the dead and were trying to transport them back to Rome. I wanted to know
Does it
if
say
what
why?
plans they had, but that they didn't mention anything in there,
oh, it does
and
that automatically.
that's I was hoping that I would learn what they intended to do, but there was nothing in there about it. Okay, now I've told
What?
you what I
Okay,
know.
so you know something's going on in it tomorrow night then, right?
I know that something is happening, and I know that some stuff has happened in the past, but I didn't want to. I don't want you to get the impression that I'm somehow responsible for any of this. I just wanted to know what was going
Who
on.
is?
I don't know.
Who is?
I don't know. I really
Well, you suspect.
don't know.
Well, you keep telling us them, this, them, that. Who's them?
All right.
Good one.
There's this guy. I
Where
don't know where he's from. I don't know. He's Asian. He's from. I don't know where he's from originally. Um, but he's behind all of this. I know. I suspect he's behind everything. From, you know, I think he somehow got Whitlow to kill himself. I think that he's responsible for whatever's going to happen. But I don't know. I don't know his name. I don't know anything about him. I just know that he's from Asia somewhere, and I suspect he's behind it. Okay, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Okay. Okay, you're
can
starting to be
I
helpful. You're
can
starting to be
I do a
helpful. So,
psychology roll to tell that?
Yeah, of course you can roll psychology.
I'm gonna spend 2 luck to make that a success.
Um, you suspect he's still not telling you everything because he still hasn't let on what's going on with the secret room in the cellar.
right. No, I was going to ask that next.
And
but,
I guess we're gonna check out
actually
what the
not quite
secret
next.
room in the cellar's all about. But there's something you should know about us. We
What?
kill the unknowable things.
Listen,
What are you talking
I
about?
want to know something.
What?
As this isn't the first time we've encountered stuff like this. Okay? We seem to be lucky that way, I guess. But I want to know a couple more things. First off, if this Oriental guy is gonna get to Stonehenge and perform some kind of ritual, do you know anything about what that ritual will look like? Maybe how best to interrupt that ritual?
Well,
I'd say a
if it's
swift
anything like
bullet to the cultist
Precise
would be
time, precise time of day might be there.
no, I don't. It's the Romans didn't leave any records like that of like when things happened. The records were something what happened, that there were sacrifices that were carried out, and there were always blood sacrifices. There's but like you're
Okay.
asking me the time of day. I don't know. I'm sure there's a specific time of
Okay.
day, but I don't know
Okay.
what it is. Okay.
All right.
Let's
Now to
go
the
look
next
at the cellar.
question. What's in the cellar? Now I know you know.
No. There's nothing in the cellar. There's nothing in the cellar.
That's
Alright, let's
bullshit.
take him with us.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, come down and be our guide then and show us all the nothing that's in there.
I love how you do that with a Boston accent. That's so cool.
I'll let him go and
Push him out the door, push him into the kitchen and out
Yeah.
the door and
pull my
over
revolver
to the
and
cellar.
we'll,
All right.
we'll lead him down into the cellar.
All right.
To put into a context that's easy for you to understand, I had to seal away essentially a demigod with the spear for 100 years.
That's a long time.
More than 7.
Wow. That's you know you should really. I'm sure somebody would really love to buy that kind of a story. That's funny.
End of story.
Sealing away a demigod. That's hilarious.
It was a horrific thing.
I'm sure.
Just keep moving.
Okay. And he walks into the cellar, and he like stops in front of the opening in the wall that appeared when you pressed that brick in. You know, he takes a deep breath and sort of starts to walk into the room, into the passage beyond.
All right.
So let's see. The bricks opened up enough to reveal a short hallway, like a short little corridor, carved out of the rock, out of the surrounding ground. That leads into another room. That's probably under the road that you drove on.
What's in there?
The room it's got a low ceiling. It's almost impossible to see the room. There's no light source. And it smells musty with a slight coppery smell.
Blood.
Yes, and blood.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. But unless it was like recent, we wouldn't be smelling it.
Which one of you's got an electric torch?
I do.
Yeah, we would have brought one when we went down into the cellar in the first place. So.
All right. So on one wall are hanging from pegs that have been shoved forth to the rock are 4 black hooded robes and 1 crimson robe. That seems to be made of a fine silk-like material. And there are smears
I just like look
of
at
what
the
appear to be blood on the opposite wall.
I just like look at our old man friend here, and I'm like, this doesn't look good for you, mate.
It's not looking good for you, mate.
How fresh is the blood on the wall?
The blood is very fresh. It appears to be smeared with intentional directions to write something out. I'm gonna try to write in chat what it says, because it is not in English.
And not
I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. What could it be?
Oh,
yeah, that's not English at all.
That's not good. Of course, I have no idea what a Shubnagath is personally.
Cthulhu Mythos rolls.
Ah, yeah, we have that.
Get that mythos, yeah. Get that mythos, yeah.
I fumbled. I know exactly what it doesn't mean.
I got a 2, which would be a extreme success for that.
I failed 24.
You only have a 5.
So I got to wonder if you fail a Cthulhu, if you fumble a Cthulhu Mythos roll,
your mind gets
Cthulhu comes after you.
Have I attracted the attention of anything?
Well, I'm gonna first go with that fumble because that's hilarious. You start reading it, or you try reading it,
and I know exactly what it means.
Yeah. For Jack, with your success, you can recognize that You don't know exactly what it does, but the name Shub-Niggurath jumps out at you. Like you've heard that name said somewhere before. Whether you've heard someone say it, you've read it somewhere, but the name Shub-Niggurath jumps out. It might even have been in that Roman writing that you read.
Shub-Niggurath.
Don't say
It was
3
in the
times out
Roman
loud.
writing. It must be their patron god or something.
As
Or something.
Anson is reading this over repeatedly, you,
Oh God.
without making a roll,
Oh
What have
no.
I done?
can feel the
He's
ground
going,
start to
whoa.
shake.
Oh God.
And
Oh God.
you hear
Shut him up.
something outside make a really inhuman growl.
Oh, we're so
God.
screwed.
Outside, like above us, or outside of the corridor in the cellar?
Outside of the cellar, probably like in the yard.
Okay.
And you just like see my face go blank for a moment, and I say,
Do
"The
you
black
guys have
goat
unusually
of the
large
woods
bears out
with
here?
1,000 young."
Adair looks at you and he puts his arms down to his side and he starts to smile. And he says, Shub-Niggurath, protect me. And that's where I'm going to end the session.
Oh, hell no. Oh,
Okay.
hell no.
Well, great news, guys. Now we have to go against the god.